Hey everybody, Parks Owsley here with Score.gg, joined by Hauntzer up in the top lane for Golden Guardians. It's been a really tough start for you guys, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first off, let's just talk about you. What are you kind of excited for on this split? You've got a new team. What are some things that you're kind of, that are good going on right now for you guys?
Some things are good. Well, even though we're losing, I feel we have a great team environment, and everyone's still striving to do their best. It's very motivating for me and for myself. Like, I'm excited to just play again. Like, we had a really long break, and I think the break's kind of like too long for people who don't go to Worlds, and that's 7 other teams. That's a lot of people. Just excited to get back into it and just play on stage.
It does seem like you guys have like a whole lot of potential, and so I'm glad to kind of hear, you're not like falling apart, still very early. What are kind of some things that you feel like, you're already good, you've gotten taken care of, and some things that like, all right, if we get this figured out, if we get maybe some synergy or whatever, we'll really start rolling over. Because a lot of people are looking at your team as being really strong, up there and definitely in playoffs.
Yeah, I think we all have really strong lanes, but our team coordination and kind of the way we draft and stuff like that needs to be improved. We're winning scrims a lot, obviously, and that's based off of mostly our individual play. We're just really strong individual players all around, but when it comes to stage time, individual play can only get you so far, and you can get a pretty big lead by yourself, but you can't end the game if you don't play as a team. So that's the biggest thing that we need to work on right now.
Is there kind of a clear communication set up? Because I know that's oftentimes, at least what I hear, I don't get to see that as much. But I often hear about, we either have too many people trying to shot call or no one making a decisive decision. What do you feel like the kind of communication breakdown is for you guys?
Well, me and Henrik talked the most about what we should be doing as a team, but and the other three still chime in, and they also give information, stuff like that. And they set up their own plays as well. So I think the big thing is just identifying what our team comps want to do, executing on that, and then going to the next step and see what kind of phase of the game we're in. Yeah, just like the games we played so far, we couldn't really execute on our comps advantages and strengths, and that's just mainly because either we haven't practiced it or we're not performing, or we're not communicating well enough on stage compared to scrims.
Yeah. Well, I hope, that can start kind of coming together. Mm-hmm. It's good to hear that you guys are doing well on scrims, and, one of these days it'll come to fruition for you guys. So tomorrow you play against Thieves, who also kind of seem to have similar issues. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts going into that matchup?
Thieves, with their changes, it didn't feel like they've upgraded any roles, really. So I feel they'll play pretty similarly to how they did the last year. He roams a lot more than Ryu, so that's the main difference. But in terms of bang and afro, I don't really know what to expect. I think our duo lanes are really strong, especially on lane. So I feel they'll have no trouble. Yeah, they're just another team. Right now, it doesn't really matter what team we play. We're just focusing on ourselves, and that's the biggest thing for us to improve on.
So it doesn't matter, but next week you do play TSM. Do you take any kind of personal pride in that game specifically? Are you, will you have any kind of different feelings or anything there, or are you still going to be able to kind of think of it as just another game?
I always like playing against my ex-teammates and kind of banter with them. I want to try to roam mid and kill Soren one time, maybe tilt him. That'll be fun. Besides that, just see what kind of game plan we're going with and try to play well. They're just another team for us.
Well, good luck with that. It'll be fun to watch, of course.
Yeah.
So I want to go back and kind of talk a little bit about you and your style and kind of what you think of yourself as a top laner. I know when you first went on TSM, obviously you'd been playing for a little while, and there were still kind of some questions like, all right, who's this Hauntzer guy? And you immediately come out and kind of just put all of the questions at rest. You're like, I'm Hauntzer, I'm here, I'm TSM's top laner, I'm going to smash everyone. And then, recently, like, when Doublelift was there and then when he wasn't and all of that, like your style kind of would change some. And it's particularly when he was off of the team, you were a very strong carry and oftentimes more in a carry position. And I feel like that's when you look the strongest just individually.
Yep.
Is that like something that you just want to go back to and kind of be like a big, strong carry? Are you mostly just looking for anything no matter what the team needs? Do you have kind of like a goal in mind for yourself as a top laner?
Yeah, like when I first started, I was a very shy person and I wouldn't communicate much in game. But when Peter left that split, I kind of like grew into the position of like becoming more vocal and more of like a leader on the team. And that's kind of what I want to keep up doing. I'm on a new team now. I'm just like want to prove myself individually, make sure I'm in top form. In terms of like being a carry player or not, that doesn't really matter too much to me. All I want is basically to win. Like, League is not an individual sport. No matter how well you perform individually, if you lose, then it doesn't really mean anything. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned, especially from last year. Last year was very tough on TSM, and we couldn't pull the victory because we just had a lot of problems as a team. So I want to make sure we don't have as many problems this year, and that we can win.
For sure. Yeah, definitely hoping to avoid some kind of problematic, just whatever team environment. So, yeah, I mean, it makes it even more, kind of relieving to hear that you guys are still positive and trying to figure things out. Any kind of thoughts about, the rest of the spring split? I mean, obviously it's not too late for you guys to even, like we saw Cloud9 was like dead last, hard last and made second. So way too early to even start worrying. Do you feel pretty confident you'll be able to come back and start stomping people?
Yeah, I like, even though we've lost 3 games, I feel really good about the team direction and how everyone's just like motivated to improve. And I feel like there's not a toxic environment at all. So there's really nothing holding us back besides ourselves. And we're just gonna keep improving day by day. It's really, you see power rankings right now. It's like, what are you doing? Dude, it just started. Like, what? It doesn't really mean anything. So, I know that by the end of the spring split, that we'll be a lot better as a team.
Yeah, the weekly updates. That's like, oh well, Hauntzer just missed 2 CS on that wave, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock them down.
Yeah.
Every breath, it's changes are being made. Well, cool. Best of luck, kind of in the journey, trying to make it back up there to playoff level. Any last words before we head out?
Last words. Goodbye.
All right, there we go. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for the interview. We will catch you next time.